Hello, my name is Davida Chapman, and I'm with Citizens for Excellent and Elected Leaders. And today we're doing an up-close interview with Cobie Lyrix Brown, that's running for Representative District 69. And so yesterday we were going to do him, and we had some technical difficulties, so he came back out today. So again, I want to thank you for tuning in. Um, we have three ways that you can watch it: in person, on social media, or go back and watch it on our YouTube channel. Today, this interview is going to be up close, and see, sometimes when you're doing the forums or debates, you really can't see the real person. And so I have gotten to know these candidates on a personal and their real side without just rushing them through. So I'm going to let Mr. Brown come in, and he's going to give us a 1.5 minute or a minute about himself, and then we're going to go on into the forum because we got forums all the way up until 6 o'clock. Thank you.
Well, like she said, my name is Cobie Lyrix Brown, and I am running for State Representative District 69. A little bit about myself. I've stayed in the city of South Fulton for over, I think it's been like 18 years now. I came here pursuing a career in music, which I had already did some music work, came here, and just the city embraced me. And when the city embraced me, I embraced the city right back. There was a lot of things that was going on in the city that I definitely wanted to be involved in. I'm a people's person, always have been. I believe that we are all destined, and our purpose in life, period, is to actually be here for one another. I speak it all the time. I mean, it's kind of like a no-brainer. Like, you have almost like two of everything. Two nostrils make one nose, top of my lip make a mouth. Together, they work together, like in the right hand, you know? So that's what I learned, that it's not just about me. So it's not just the nose, it's the two nostrils that make the nose. You understand? So that's how I look at life itself in general and people. It's not about me, it's about everything else that makes me, which are people. You know, my mother, father, the people that shape you, the family, the community, the everything. The city itself is just a big mansion, and every district is just a room within that mansion. All live together. So that's one of my things I definitely stay focused on, the people. I'm nothing without someone else. You know, I can't even win this election without your votes. I can't do anything without you allowing me to actually serve and be there for you. But the fact that I understand the purpose that this is my duty, this is what destined to be. Most High did not design me to be for me. He designed me to be for someone else.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. I did a little snooping with you.
Let's see.
And I know where you're from. I know where you was born.
Okay.
You was born up north, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you mind if I say where you from?
No problem.
You from Gary, ain't you? Gary, yeah. Well, that's right. I got
the Jackson 5.
All right, all right.
They got the movie coming out soon, right?
Right. I got folks that's from Gary.
Okay.
My kin folks up there in Gary, but we call it East Chicago.
East Chicago, yeah. A lot of people call it, back in the day, they called, before Gary had his own name like that, they said Chicago.
Yeah, East Chicago. And so I'll tell you the history after I get off this mic. Folks might think I'll be telling the tale, but I got the paperwork to say. So again, I want to thank you today for coming in. And yesterday, like I said, the devil tried to get into play, but I said we ain't gonna let the devil defeat us. So thank you for coming. So let's get right on in, because I will make sure that we stay focused and get out of here for the next people. I'm not going to say anything right now that I just heard. I'm going to wait till maybe they come in and we can talk about with the news that I just got. So going forward, why are you running for this seat?
For the same reason I just did the opening.
Okay.
The people. So you, like I said, these connecting cities, you know, that are within my district, they're people. And there are people that are, well, some people call them taxpayers, right? But they're people. There are people that deserve equality, equals, you know?
Okay.
And sometimes they don't always get it because they have poor representation. So for those that are unable to speak for themselves, for those that don't know how to go about getting things done,
Okay.
I'm, I'm advocating for those.
I hear you, I'm just trying to share your feed, I want you to get the right, so you can keep on, talking, so I like that.
But that is the basis of it all. So there are things that I've communicated with some of the people in surrounding areas that want certain things,
Mhm.
you know, to be done, uh, to be moved forward faster, efficiently, you know. So for those people, I'm trying to run, and that's nothing against the actual people that I'm running against in this race.
Okay.
You know, I have nothing against even an incumbent for that matter. You know, she's been in office for quite some time, and my hat goes off to her. Kudos to her. She's done the things that she's done while she's been in office.
Okay.
But um, I had a discussion with someone else before. I mean, and eventually, at some point in time, fresh ideas are always great to have. When even when when you have a seat in office, you want to get a couple more opinions on different things. That's why they have this big thing where they call it the house.
Okay.
You know, there's a collective of people that come together to actually come together to pass certain bills and whatnot. So with that being said, I've even asked before to work with her, you know, when she's just had the seat. I'm okay with working because the main objective is the people. So I don't, seat or no seat, I've always been within the community working, so.
Okay. Well, good. Let me say this, I'm the only one got the questions, but he didn't say it one of my questions, but I'll go back to it.
Okay.
That's how it works. Will you be able to work across the aisle and with your fellow representatives?
Absolutely, absolutely. But like I explained, it's not just me. I can't do this by myself. I need the help and support of the community, the help and support of other people within the House seats. You know, we all have to work together. So definitely.
What areas will you be covering?
As far as in this election, so we have, it breaks up a little bit. So you have Fayette County, you know, of course, city of South Fulton as well. It spreads a little bit. For those that don't know, you can absolutely go on my voter website, find out who's in your district, find out most people don't even know who their council person is needed. So it's very important that you go there and find out who your council members are, who your state reps are, congressmen, all that.
Okay, thank you. How do you feel about the charter changes every time city official gets elected? And will you support charter changes?
I definitely would support. It's not the charter being changed, it's what's being changed about the charter. The charter itself can absolutely be changed here and there, but what are the changes? So the direction and where you're going with the charter is more important than the charter just being changed.
Okay,
If that makes sense.
okay, okay. Okay. The Georgia House of Representatives has so many members. Do you know how many members are in the Georgia House of Representatives? And what terms do they serve?
Uh, there's a few. I'm brushing up on that because that changes as well. Representatives of it. So I'm looking into a lot of those.
Okay.
Situations. Find out who's in those seats and who's doing what.
Okay.
But right now, my main focus has actually been within communities, within the cities, talking to the actual people.
Well, since it's close, and if you ever go to the forums, I'm gonna tell you, it's 180 members,
Okay.
and the terms is 2 years.
Yeah, no, the time is
Mhm.
all that.
What are some of the roles and responsibilities that takes place if you get elected? What are some of the roles?
Well, I'll tell you what my platform is at this time.
Okay.
Uh, it's definitely public safety. I know a lot of people say, okay, hey, public safety, that's one of the main objectives, right? Uh, Public safety is very important, especially what we have going on right now with team takeover and things that are going on with the youth and whatnot. Public safety is one of my biggest things at this time, especially going for the youth, giving them something that they can actually do within the city. A lot of things that's going on in the cities. Um, we have more things that are for adults than we do our youth, our future. You know,
I said that this morning.
like you was mentioning about your son being a lawyer. You know, there are young ones that really want to go that route. Getting them in early to learn so many things is great. A lot of them don't have structure inside of the home. Some of them are going through a lot of mental issues because their parents are, you know. So there's a lot of things that they don't have to express what's going on, turning negative into something positive. So that coincides with public safety to me. You know, it's just one of my biggest things. Being that I do work with the youth, kids in foster care, youth, I see so many things, I hear so many things. That's one of the things I know that we can actually do that will help public safety. Not so much as just more police around and showing up presence and this and that. Even we have the go home thing going on right now. That's fine. But there still be kids that don't want to be at home. There are kids that's going to want to express themselves. There are kids that's going to want to do so many things. We can't really stop a lot of things, but we can kind of, you know, get them someplace where they feel comfortable. They're learning something. I was trying to actually bring back like dance competitions,
Okay.
you know, skate competitions.
Okay.
You know, back in the day, we used to do that.
Okay.
So just having kids being able to be active.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had a big shooting that was on 404 day that was down in Piedmont.
Mm-hmm.
You know, things like that. Like these kids really don't have anywhere to express themselves.
Do you think that we should get more mentors for these kids?
Absolutely, but those are the things that I'm talking about as far as having them a place to go where they can express themselves, or whether it's talking to someone, different activities as well. Just teaching, getting them involved in numerous amounts of things, even with learning how the city works, or how the city works, how government works. I think that's very because some of them they do certain things and don't know how it jeopardizes everything in their surrounding. Whether developers don't want to come to that certain area because there's been shootings, there's been this, there's been that, break-ins and whatnot. A lot of them don't really understand what they're doing to even their actual community. They don't know how certain things work. So just getting them involved in those, I think more youth should even come to council meetings and forums and things of that nature.
You said something, so I'm going to ask you, do you think, you live in the city of South Fortin,
Absolutely.
if you get elected, what do you think about young city council leaders?
I'm all for it. I've been talking to some of the council members because I put together this program where I'm trying to actually get a little bit after school. I wanted to be done within school, right? Where these kids actually petition the actual council members with different things that they want for the city in a fashion that they're supposed to do it. Have to dress a certain way. They're being judged on how they dress. They have a social on where we all socialize and eat before we actually go in, and they're judged on that, how they shake hands, how they interact with people and tell about themselves, get up in his cars, and then also how they project their voice, talk to the council members, and how they, yes, all of those things. So we're getting them prepped for our young leaders of this world, of this country, of our new council members and all of that. So I have this whole big old program that we're actually doing right now.
Okay.
Possibly next month or the next 2 months.
Okay. Being under the Georgia Dome, and you haven't been there, so some questions that I'm gonna ask the next people, I won't even ask you, because you ain't down there, you don't know. Well, you know some things, but you don't know the in and out that goes on. So I'm not gonna put you on the spot like you know, because I'm setting myself up. Because you're not down there in that seat.
I'll say this.
Okay.
I've been in several circles, and I've known people that are down there, and they had some knowledge of some things.
Okay.
But when you actually there, it's still something different.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just keep it real. We have this whole thing of what it's supposed to be like. You know, even me running for the seat. Yeah, I'm running for the seat because equality, people, this and that. Oh, okay, that's all fine and dandy. I know a whole lot of different things as far as government goes, right? But it's a lot of things I don't know, and I'm not afraid to admit that. Some people will say they know everything. But then when they actually get in the seat, it's so many things that they don't know, because you don't know how it's actually going to go. A lot of people don't know, like, if I was running for mayor, people on the outside, and even myself, if I did not know everything, would think, oh, yeah, I'm going to run some things. Mayors don't run them. I'm sorry. It just don't. It's so many other people have that so many things have to go through. You know, and it's the same thing within this seat. I can't just pass something. I just can't just, oh, yeah, well, this is what I'm doing, this is what's going to happen. That's not happening.
And basically, if you win the seat, you have to go in there and get on the job training just like everybody else.
Just like everybody else. They give you that training because what you know or what you think you know ain't what it really is. So you all still have to go through training. So again, I'm not that guy that says I know everything. One thing that I do know that I feel is the most important thing is I'm here to serve. That's one of the things that I think candidates or even people that aren't on the seats that once got the seat years ago or whatever the case may be forgot that you're here for the people. So when they get there, a lot of things happen where you get assigned that, and you begin to only be in the seat.
Do you think sometimes people forget about that this is the people's seat and they just think it's their seat?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. So they get there, they had an agenda in the beginning, but what you thought how this is going to go is not how it's going to go. So when you're there and you're under the dome, you're around all of these people and 100-some, representatives and all that, you think it's really, now you're like, oh, okay, I'm here. And it goes totally different. You understand now, no, you can't really do the things that you really, really actually wanted to do the way you wanted to do it, because you have to go through so many loopholes. There's a lot of relationships that you have to actually have with certain people that are in those seats that you network with, and you have to play nice and this and that, even to get certain things done. It's not just getting in that seat and you won, I won an election and that's that. No, it's a whole lot more. You really gotta play the game.
Tell me, what do you think about healthcare? How things are going with this healthcare bill? Do you think people in Georgia should have healthcare?
Of course they should. Why shouldn't they?
Right. Do you think?
But the cost of everything at this time with healthcare, insurance rising, everything, especially with minimum wage, we have senior citizens that are not able to actually live off of what they retired on. And that's ridiculous because of everything is rising. So if you have a balance of simple math, if I have $100 coming in a month, and at one point that, let's say all of those business was only 20, I might have at $80 left. But now when you raise something up and now that was 20, it's now $60 or $70. Now you got enough to survive off of this, because you done jacked everything else up, from food to insurance and the hospitals. How many hospitals do we really have that are actually in the city vicinity? You know what I'm saying? For us to actually really get to like that, right? So you talking about transportation, so many other things that play in place. So now that cuts into the cost of whatever you actually have as well. So it's just ridiculous at this time.
Okay.
So if something needs to be done about that, that's another thing.
Let's talk about mental health. Um, Mental health is a big issue now.
Mhm.
And we just saw where the young man killed,
This whole thing.
his whole family. We can't say, sometimes, we tend to say, oh, it's the black man. We can't say that.
No, no.
It's mental health. How would you tackle problems like that?
First thing first, let's figure out some of the things that people actually would be depressed or stressed out about. Number one, come on, let's keep it all the way real.
Oh yeah, that's what I want you to do.
Money. The major person in this world, even when they have it, though, now it's some other issues. But let's be honest. If you are, the average person is going to work every day right now, busting their butt, trying to survive, trying to take care of children and a household, and with everything rising up, it almost makes it impossible. Okay? And in order to stack money to actually provide and give something at the end of the day to your children and leave, just in case something happens to you, as we just heard about someone passing away. Mm-hmm. It's almost, you keep working until you die. Something has to give, so that's a stressful environment right there. And then if a kid is in an environment also within a household, they're seeing mom and dad struggle as well. Now they have to get out and do something. I know street people that I talk to and try to get through to them as well. It's one of those biggest things, especially when you're young, to go out there and do something illegal just to help mom out, dad out, or to take some edge off of mom and dad and try to do it for yourself.
And that's real talk.
Right. And then when the streets hit you, now you dealing with some other stuff, and then that goes into a mental thing too. But a lot of it starts with that. This economy, this world, the way it's structured, we're not all the way free. So if we're not all the way free, we're being controlled. Our mind is being controlled, manipulated, and programmed in the first place. So all of this stress and all of this and that is set up to set a person up to do something illegal or to do something bad or whatever the case may be, because you're struggling. You're struggling with mental issues, you're struggling with something, but this is number one. And the other thing is, once we handle that part and get that part in order and give it a balance where people can survive and live, they have a little bit of more time to sit back and actually deal with whatever else that they might possibly be dealing with. Now we have different facilities that we need to get as well within the city where that gives onto that. That's why healthcare is also important. Because you want to be able to go somewhere and not even worry about that. The copay, oh my gosh. So if you don't have it and you messed up in money and the economics and all of the politics part aspect of it all, then you're going to, hey man, listen, if it's going to cost that much, I can sit here and be crazy.
Yeah, and that's how some people think.
It costs too much to be sane.
Yeah, and that's how people think.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the districts that you cover. You got Fayetteville. Mm-hmm. Right now, Fayetteville was going through something. Basically, with City of South Fulton, not the City of South Fulton, mm-hmm. but South Fulton as a whole, we're talking about the data centers. Tell me, how do you feel about the data centers?
And again, we're talking about economics. We're talking about things rising and whatnot. We're talking about the equality of people. When you look at data centers, we're talking about water supply, the water usage, and the different things that what it's doing, right? So we have that in play. And then we have, when you're putting something like that, like I go back to how things can be bad for even a person that bought a home in a certain area. Now there's data center. What happens to that home, the equity, the everything within the home? Does it go up? Nice, yeah, see.
Yeah, it goes down.
So when you're talking about somebody, and then it goes back. So you're talking about somebody that's retired, somebody that's just trying to live and everything like that. They got this house, they almost done paying it off, or maybe they're not, but they have this again, they got a second mortgage or whatever the case may be. Now we put this data center within this area. Now, if you did want to move, you want to sell, you want to do anything else or whatever the case be, if you're
Okay.
passing it down to, and then again, with the water usage, that's horrible. So nothing about it is great. It's only great for those people that are selfish, that's only for themselves, that's not for people. And if you're not for people, then what are you for?
Right. Well, we gonna pause right there, because you said something, so I'm gonna see if you probably was too young to remember, because you was up there in Gary. You remember when them steels come up there, and all the folks from the south moved to Gary.
Yep.
Gary was booming,
Booming like a mug.
and
The
then
steel was on top.
steel was on top.
And steel dropped down.
Steel dropped,
When
and
they
it,
dropped and cut all of those jobs out. Don't tell me I'm
And-
too young to know.
Well,
See, you gotta understand, well, I'm too young to know now. Remember what I said not too long
that's
ago.
right.
When you are a child within a family and the family seems to go down and they're depressed and they're like, oh my God, and they can't pay the bills, that child also suffers and knows exactly what's
So
going on.
you understand how,
Absolutely not.
and you look at the data centers,
Mhm.
and they all come, they make their money, and then when they leave,
You're trash.
you're trash, because one time Gary was booming, and then them steals, and it just messed up, just like Detroit, do you agree? Just like Detroit.
Absolutely, exactly like Detroit. But again, politics. Again, the different things that's going on in the world, it's already set that way. We just don't know that that's what it's going to go.
Why, you see, you hollered that word politics, and I like that, I use that word. Why do you think we do politics?
I don't do politics. Let me get clear.
Why do the other folks do politics there?
Okay, so, and I don't want to get too deep on this show or something, and I'm not saying it's here.
That's
something
okay,
else, but
that's why it's up and close,
in person.
personal,
So
and
let's
it's just me and you
So
talking.
let's be personal. When you view the world, when I view the world, I look at how everything is structured. So you have to get to a core of a situation. And all of the stuff that's in between and all of the smoke and mirror stuff, let's get to the core, right? The seed that was planted that made this be what it is, right? So there's a lot of programming and conditioning things that are out here, as opposed to television, radio, different things like that. We're on this platform right now, hoping and urging people to watch, to get more involved and actually come out and vote or hear me speak and say, hey, yay or nay, right? So this is the way that things are structured through television and radio. Now, through that, when you think about police and you think about the government saying, hey, we need more policing, right? But then on top of that, you put everything that is violent on television. Now, everything has to go through this government as far as to get approved to be out. May that be radio. So you have all type of stuff on radio for anybody to listen to, young, old, middle age, it don't matter. But it had to be approved by government first in order to be out. So now you have all these gang members that's on the radio saying this and saying that, and you have all these videos that's explaining this and that. You have all these movies that are doing this and that. And then you say, oh, we got to stop the violence. You put it out there. So let's get to the core of the situation. This is something that's already being sketched. This is something that they want to happen. So then the smoke and mirrors say, hey, we cleaned up this side of town. You ain't cleaned up nothing. You jumped it up in the first place.
So you saying the government?
And I hate to say that. That's like not giving me no win. And I don't really care about that because at the end of the day, I care about the people. Let's just keep it real. Now, if I get in the seat, there are certain people even within that seat under that dome that feel the same as I, but won't say what they really feel because they are seat fillers and puppet strain masters, and that and you have to play the game in order if you want to stay in that seat. And if you want to continue to do this or continue to do that or continue to make a name for you, and that's just what it is. So let's keep it real. This is politics. This is what it's all about.
So you say you're about the people.
Absolutely.
Would you sell your soul out for the people? I'm quite, that's a yes or no question.
My soul is given by people. So at the end of the day, what you mean by selling my soul to whom?
Well, okay, but you know how,
Without-
let me give you an example. If you know that big train is coming down on this side of the railroad.
Mm-hmm.
But the man on the other side gonna tell you, if I give you $50, you just tell them folks to keep staying on that side. That's what I'm talking about, selling the folks out. Sometimes I give you better.
I already got it already.
You got it?
So when I say I'm for the people, that's just what it is. So money, you talking about money, you talking about printed paper, you talking about the money that is printed and designed, right? That they can push a button or whatever and print billion, trillion, zillion dollars. You talking about the money that they can literally just type in something in the computer and say you got credit for 10,000 or 20,000. You talking about some money that they can just put in and say, okay, when you work 40 hours, we put this in the system, and now you print out this piece of paper that has a check that says this and that. You talking about that they straight and burn it, that they don't even need because they can print and design whatever money? No, the quality is the people. That you can't put money before people, because you got to understand, I'm getting core. People design money. People are the reason that money can't even be transferred. If I got $20 and I give it to you to fix my car, you're not gonna fix the car with the $20. You're gonna take the $20 and probably give it to somebody else to get you some nice more pearls.
Oh.
And then that person ain't gonna need to take that $20 to do whatever they want. They're gonna take it, and it just keeps going around and around.
Okay.
By the time you get to the government, it's straight and burning, and you don't even need it, it's worn out, it's whatever, right? So the quality is in the people. Because see, it's you and I talking. Because other than that, if money had some type of value, then let's put the mics down and go ahead and put $100, let the $100 do the interview.
All right, okay, I get you. What do you think? Let's talk about, right now, the United States is in a mess.
Mhm.
We can't find money to get the homeless off the street
Here we go again.
and put the kids in programs so we can fund a war. How do you feel about that?
And again, politics. So they don't, man, I might get so much trouble, but I don't.
Well, that's, I
So
want
I'm
you
gonna
to
educate
say.
people. I want people to understand. It's been said that we need something that we really don't need. Because at the end of the day, who builds the buildings? We do with our hands. Who does everything with our hands? I don't care what it is. Like I said, we can't put $100 on each one of these mics and really have a real good interview for these people to see. It's gonna have to be us holding the mics and actually us talking spiritualized, right? We have to do it. We have the power within in us. If people say they believe in God, how can you believe in money instead of yourself? See, God is within all of us. So the first thing you believe in is yourself.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If you can't make no money, if a lawyer, so your son is a lawyer,
Mhm.
there's no way he can make money off being a lawyer if himself did not believe in himself in order to pass the bar the first time, not the second time. See, he didn't pay to get it did. He had to do it, and he had to study. He had to want it. He had to go and be wherever he needed to be every time. Him. And that was the power of the Most High. That was the power of God. It wasn't the power of money.
That's right.
See, the power of money got everybody mixed up. So see, when you're talking about the war and what's going on, and we can't find money for this and that, they print it. They print it, they design it, they type it in, they put it in. Don't tell me we ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? They talk about we old China, we this and that. Old China wasn't money. Because China got their own money. They got their own historical figures. Their money look different, it is different, the value is different, and other countries got their own money, their own figures and everything, right?
Mhm.
No, it's the people. See, this is this modern day slavery, so people are still being shipped
Mhm.
and utilized, you know what I'm saying, for whatever it is that's why when you leave another country, you gotta have a passport, you gotta have this and that. They wanna know your every moves and everything else and what's going on. I don't care when you go get an ID, when you go get a license, all of this stuff is just contracts that's being shipped over, whatever the case is. I can go on and on, I don't wanna go
Okay,
that far, but you will understand what I'm saying.
I want you.
So when I told you that everything is sketched off already and what they really want and how they want it to be done, that's just what it is. It's no different than raising, insurance and all these different things like that, making people lose their homes, lose their jobs, lose their sanity, lose everything going to come crawling back. Yeah, I ain't need. So now you're going to keep doing this because you think your Savior is not God, but your Savior is these people that's in these seats.
Let me, being under the Gold Dome, they meet 40, the session is in January, and it may go to April.
Mhm.
If you get elected, could you serve those long hours, long days under the dome for that?
It's my purpose. My purpose is about the people. So I'm gonna serve how long I need to be served for how many hours.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna rest up, get back and serve again.
If you was at the, under the Gold Dome, got elected, and Mr. Republican man come over and said, I'm just using, because it's gonna be the Republicans and the Democrats. Right now, the Republicans control everything. They need you, Mr. Brown, to pass their agenda. But you know that agenda don't fit your agenda.
Mhm.
Would you cross the aisle?
It's no longer my agenda. It's no longer my agenda.
I hear you.
If that agenda does not align with my agenda, which is the people,
Okay,
it's no longer my agenda.
okay.
I don't care about the seat, the position, the control, or anything. I'm not here to control people. I'm here to actually serve.
Serve the people.
So if that agenda that they're, then I got to go.
Okay.
Peace. Two things.
Do you think elected officials should be in the business of people that do nonprofits, have nonprofit status? Do you believe that elected officials should stop setting policies and procedures and go into the nonprofit? Example, nonprofit gives out food for the homeless and take care of that. Do you believe elected officials should be out there doing that?
Well, you just asked me a question and said, I'm under the dome and I'm there to pass whatever type of agenda. And that agenda is not for the people, right? So by all means, before I'm elected and even after I'm not elected, my agenda will never ever change. So however I can do, even if you're under the dome and we're passing something, I'm trying to figure out how we can actually give this food the same way. Because if you do have a nonprofit and you're actually able to get food and then distribute it, so why us under the dome can't figure this part out just this way, right? But we have this policies and all these different things with the 501c3 and all that. So why are we not figuring it out? And if we can't figure it out, then why wouldn't a person be able to use their own 501c3 to actually feed the people of the city? Why not? Why would something be wrong with that? And if it is, then let's figure out how we can do it up underneath this dome. Because at the end of the day, isn't the people being fed is what needs to be done. So you're gonna stop me or someone else from doing so?
Okay. When you're under the Gold Dome, you pass resolutions, you pass bills, and right now they got bills on the table that's waiting for the Governor Kemp to sign. Right now, 20, going to the Capitol, and you look under those bridges. What is your thought of all what you see? If you were in the seat right now and you go into the Gold Dome every day, what would you think?
Some of the people in the seats have failed us all. And it's time for new representation. It's time for people that really care about others other than themselves. We failed. We failed veterans. I'm sorry, we just have. There's so many people that have actually served for this country to be what it is, and they're not treated like they should. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So we failed. We failed. And those people that are in those seats under those domes at all times, I'm sorry, you know, if everybody knows it, they feel it. They know that they're sitting there too, and the bill is being passed, and they really don't really for real feel it inside of them spiritually. morally. They don't want to do it, but they do it. They do it. And when it's done, it's done. It's no different than a lawyer that knows his client is guilty, and you still represent him. You know you killed that person.
But you go along with it anyway.
And that's bad. That is still horrible.
Right.
So I'm not for that. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Either way you slice it, no matter what it is. So why would I be on the wrong team?
Right.
You know, that's doing it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That makes no sense. I might as well be in the streets. If that's the case, why am I politics and doing anything else on the radar? I'll just be on the street. I'm doing that anyway, right?
Right.
So, and going to that, when you're talking about even the streets,
Mm-hmm.
as long as they're killing for the country, they get Purple Hearts and everything else. But if they do something on the street, which none of it is right, but they do on the street, they need some jail time, anything. They can do everything out here. And but if they're doing it for the government, it's okay. But it's not okay, right? So you got all types of different gangs or gang members. And I'm sorry to say, and I could be bad. I'm not bashing the state, the city, or the government. And I'm saying that there are individuals that are there that don't have the right feeling of heart for people.
Okay.
I mean, that's all I'm saying.
So you saying you got to have love for the people.
Before you even go into office, why would you go? You know, that's like a pastor that doesn't believe in God, but they want to be a pastor. Come on, that makes no sense. So now you preach it to the congregation and you preach it to all these people, but you knew before you walked in, before you put on the robe and everything, you knew that your agenda was not right.
Oh,
so that's just still wrong to me.
Yeah. Under the Go Down, they deal with our budgets and so forth. And they deal with the teachers' raises. How do you feel about the teachers getting raises and so forth?
Again, that would be no future leaders without that education of how this government wants these kids to learn, what they want them to know, and how to read, write, and understand certain things, and where would they be? If not, like we can teach them, yeah. But if you're dropping your kid off to a facility for them to learn, and you're not paying those people to do the job, again, that whole thing of them being able to survive and all this type of stuff, if we're going to play this game and this is how you're going to structure it, then make it fair. Make it fair, Mm-hmm. And like you said, again, those people under the dome, they're the ones that pass the bills for the budgets, for everything that's going on. So if it's like what it is right now, that means somebody in there knew the agenda was not right, knew the agenda itself was not right, and was not going to be suitable for the people of this world, of this state. They knew it. And they went there and they went along with it. That's why we're in the position that we're in right now. That's why people are in the position they are and going crazy and can't afford to get sane.
Mm-hmm. Do you think they should get away with property taxes and people just stop paying property taxes?
I had this conversation with somebody about it. And again, it goes everything what I'm saying. If I'm gonna go to work for the rest of my life and I have a house that's been paid off, right? 30 years, right? I might have taken that mortgage and pushed it back even further, right? Do we ever own anything in this country? Is it a land of the free? Is it really opportunity here? Because I would never own anything. Because as soon as I pay the house off, whew. But if I don't pay the property taxes, what happens to that?
What happened to it?
It's gone. But I spent 30 years of busting my butt for whatever job that I had. They gave me, said, okay, I gotta work so many years within that job to even retire. Mm-hmm. And then I do all of that. blood, sweat, and tears, right? I got a homeboy that got some blood, sweat, and tears. And I do all of that, and I don't even own it. I don't even own my car. My car's paid for. But I got to register it everywhere, all type of stuff. And guess what? If I ain't got the insurance on it that they said I got to have, because that's one of the bottom trick things. So now I got this insurance, and it's so high, but if they'll take my car. And then I got to pay to get my car that I owned, that I thought was mine, that's registered under my name and everything, but it's still registered under the state of Georgia. There's so many things that are in this thing that is not right.
Okay.
And I know I can't, turn around everything.
But you
the
don't try.
Republicans running there. So you got to understand where we at, but it's going to take a group effort, and not just the people in the seats, but people coming out to make sure they vote, make sure their voices are heard, because power to the people. When the people say enough is enough and we don't want to do this no more, they can't push nothing or none of the agendas on us because we are not going anymore.
Okay. Well, look, I'm gonna make sure that we don't fall in that trick like we did yesterday. We go over and then we can't get the next.
Well, I got a lot more to say, so we gotta go.
Well, no, yeah, look.
So we gotta go.
Look, I'm finna let you talk into that camera and tell the folks why they should vote for you. And you got,
Well,
my folks say you got about 5 minutes to do that, so you got 5 minutes to do it.
you don't really need 5 minutes.
All right now, okay.
If y'all been sitting here listening, and I respect this woman I'm sitting next to, right? I've been on this platform with you a couple times before, okay? I love what you do. Honestly, she's for the people. Don't vote for no one but yourself. If you understand the agenda and you know the different things that you want, then you connect with those people that want somewhat similar to what you want, or they got a certain type of way of going about it that you can't. Then yeah, you go with representation. But when you're looking at a candidate, don't look at what they've done or even what they're saying. That's just something that you have to feel. But definitely make sure you're voting for you. Make sure you're voting for others as well. You know others around you that say, oh, we don't want no more dinosaurs. You make sure you get with somebody that's going to represent you, that's going to represent you quite well by saying no more dinosaurs, okay? So don't vote for a candidate. Vote for other people. Vote for you and others, your family members, your loved ones, and people around you that you know wants some of the same things that you want. You come together and y'all go to those polls and you make sure your voice is heard. I'm just a candidate. So me being a candidate, I'm sitting right here right now, but I can't do nothing without you. I'm gonna be honest with you. Most people will say possibly they don't need you. But I need you. There's no way I can do anything by myself. The Republican Party is running a lot of things. We need Democrats in it. And I hate to even separate us because even under the dome, Republicans and Democrats have to still work together and come to some type of agreement and resolution on whatever it is that's on the table. But you got to make sure that you're choosing and picking and choosing the right person to have a seat at the table. So you don't just go by a candidate. I'm telling you that. Don't go by me. I mean, if you like what you heard here and it fits what you got, fine, But make sure that it's something that's for you. Do not vote for someone that is not for you and others. Because if you do that, you're just voting for them, then they gonna go and do what they want to do for them. We all gotta be here for one another. So do not just vote for me just for some weird, whatever, my name, whatever. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't want votes like that. My votes can be as low as possible. I don't care. But at least I know that those people that voted for me didn't just vote for me for this reason. They voted for me because they felt that I can provide something that they might want.
Okay. Your website.
It's Cobie Lyrix Brown for State Representative, District 69. It's just what I'm running for and my name. Just type that in.com and you'll see it. You can Google my name, Cobie Lyrix Brown, and everything will pop up. So, but other than that, you'll see me in the streets. So that already know me, they know I'm out there.
Well, thank you, Mr. Brown, for coming. You heard from Mr. Brown again. Thank you for coming back today to let us hear from you.
And I just wanted to say, I appreciate you in comment that I'm in this race with. Deborah Blaze Moore. I appreciate her for all the work she's been doing. It's been years she's been in that seat. So I would love to even work with you. And if I did not please, I
Okay, I'm going to that.
I also want to give a good kudos and congratulations also to the other person in the race with me, September. You know, so if we're all running for the same agenda, I have no problem with nobody.
Amen. Amen. See, that's when you know a man have God in his life. He say what he say.
That's first.
So remember, early voting starts this Monday.
Yeah, 5 days.
And what I will say is, don't forget to cast your vote. I'm not telling you who to vote for, who not to vote for, but just vote. Remember this when you go vote. Know before you go. Know who's on the ballot. Know what is on the ballot. Know when to vote. The only thing you need to do is know before you go. I want to thank you for tuning in. I got another one at 2 o'clock. Thank you.